And the bottom line was, and it usually is this in a comic, how good can you get it done, not in an ideal world, but in this deadline? And you will always say, oh, I can do a so much better job to give me a deadline, but you don't have that. I remember that I think I met you at a San Diego Comic-Con. I was impressed with there's a lot of artists that are out there. Some of them have varying degrees of talent. And one of the things I was really astonished by was Chris was talented, but he was really committed. And he wanted to do this. And everybody talked about wanting to do it. But Tim Foster kept in touch with me too, a mutual friend we had. Tim said, Chris is getting it done. He's doing everything he said, and it was always in the back of my head too that here's somebody you could rely upon if we possibly had worked together. He was shifted in my mind from a guy that was an aspiring comic artist to a guy that was producing a body of work. So I was working on the Ojo comic, and it occurred to me that I had only done a couple of issues. Alex Pardee had done some of it, and then he had quit to do another job. And I remember thinking, everybody on the crew said, well, we can't start filming until your comic is finished, and you've only done 2 issues. When are the other 3 issues going to be done so they can be turned into scripts so we can start shooting the movie? And I had a really good motivation to finish now, because I was lazy. I only do things if there's a gun to my head or there's a deadline. So I thought about you, and I'd see if you're available, and you took it very seriously, and you were telling me what you could do and what you couldn't do, and you barreled through and you got it done. I really appreciate it. And, I was astounded that you were able. I suddenly felt like you were a part of the crew because you were drawing a comic, but you were also mindful of the fact that it was going to be a movie too, even if it was a movie no one would see because I would. It's so long editing it, I would never release it. But that's another story. The point is, Chris got it done, and I was really impressed with that.
For me, the big issue was I was the 3rd artist.
Yeah, and your whole thing was, can I be myself? Should you want me to copy you, copy Alex a little bit? And I seem to remember saying, you should just be yourself, and I'll try to navigate between me to Alex to you. Because at that point, I was pretty familiar with when people would be doing different things. I would often get called into ink jobs, and I was really cognizant of when you're an inker and you're handling jobs, you're handling other people, changing your style to match somebody else. Sometimes it would, be in the middle of a job. Somebody said 10 pages. Can you finish the other 5 pages? And you'd say, okay, well here's the first 10. Here's what I'm coming up against. So I need to turn from this to this. So I was pretty comfortable with that, and you'd seen the book too, so you bent and helped in that way, to make it look like a whole. And it wasn't quite a deadline you were in, wasn't it?
We pumped those pages out so fast. Yeah, we were doing a couple a day. It seemed like some of those weeks.
Yeah, it was grueling. Would I go back and Ojo and have redone some things, or maybe you? Sure, but we do that over any time. The bottom line was. And it usually is this in a comic, how good can you get it done, not in an ideal world, but in this deadline? And you will always say, oh, I can do a so much better job to give me a deadline, but you don't have that. Oh, okay, well, in that case, I can get it done. Well, that's what a professional is. They're stuck doing it not under the ideal circumstances. Karen Berger said when I did the first issue of Sandman, she said, I have to redraw virtually all 40 pages. And she said, be so lucky because you have to redraw this, because once the monthly gets going, you want to have this luxury. Oh, I'd love that luxury. I'd love to be stuck not being able to redraw it so much. But that's another story.
Yeah, sounds like a good one. I'd like to hear it. But not right now.
Right.
So I want to tell you that being a nobody unknown guy who's just trying to make comics, when I came down and met you, you were so nurturing and supportive. You know,
well, you know, there's some people that you don't feel like you're having to reach too far to help them because they're going so far. You know, if you see somebody and you can reach over the finish line and they travel 70 feet, you'd be a real dick to not say, here, come on up. And you're doing the hard work, you know. This happens, I always say this, there's better artists than me, there's better writers, there's better storytellers. It's amazing the people that get in often aren't the best, but the best that can work under conditions of comics, you know, which is, I think, can be, well, under budget means you just do it for the page rate, and they can do it on time or some reasonable amount of on time. If you're really talented, you can get away with being really late, but most of us aren't.